Hey everyone, excited to be back for this week's edition of Frequently Asked Questions for Commercial Real Estate. In today's video, what I want to do is talk about a terminology that's both applicable to buyers and owners of commercial real estate, and that is what exactly is loss to lease. So we'll explain what that term means, and then we'll explain some of the nuances and how it benefits both buyers and sellers, or buyers and owners, I should say, to kind of give them an understanding of how the performance of the asset is and maybe some future value add opportunities as well. So before we dive in this video, I'd greatly appreciate if you can like and subscribe to this channel. It really does help with the YouTube algorithm and ensures more and more people can hear this message and learn about the many facets of commercial real estate. So now you've done that, go and like and subscribe below. Let's go ahead and dive into this episode. All right, so if you operate in the investment real estate space, you may have very well heard the term loss to lease. So what exactly does that particular term mean? Well, what loss to lease means is it's used to describe the difference between a unit's market rate versus what is actually being charged by the owner. So in an example, let's say that you own an apartment building and two bedrooms that you have. Let's say you have a 50-unit apartment building and you have all these two bedrooms rented at $900 a month. Well, let's also assume that the market rate for those apartments is actually $1,000 a month. So they're being under rented. Well, in order to calculate the loss to lease for one single unit, you would take whatever the market rent is minus the actual lease, and that'll give you the total, which would be, let's call it $100 a month. That would be a loss to lease in this particular scenario. So from a buyer's perspective, what is the benefit of understanding this metric? Well, it gives you an understanding of what the value add opportunity would be once you do take possession of the property. If a property has been under rented for quite some time and the occupancy in that property is very high and the market itself is very active and rents are just going through the roof, then if I raise rents on these individuals once I do take possession of the property, they're likely going to stick around because the options available to them in the marketplace are at that level as well. So, it does give a potential buyer, I should say, the opportunity to understand what the value add potential of an investment is. Now, on the ownership side, it gives you a unique understanding about how the performance of the asset management team or the property management team is. So, for example, if you've been owning this property for quite some time and you just determine, oh wait, the market rate of this particular property is way higher than what we're actually charging in rents, and when your communications with your property manager or asset management team, it seems like they have not been as active when it comes to getting properties, getting the rent raised as they should throughout the years, then obviously that maybe something's up, or you may know that they're just not performing to the level that they need to in order to make sure that your assets is performing at a high level. So there's definite various reasons that it could be beneficial for you to understand this metric. So as an example, let's go ahead and kind of take the previous example that I shared recently. So let's assume that this particular investment property, there's 50 units. They're all rented at $900 a month. So the total annual cost, or the total annual rent that you're receiving, would be $450,000 per year. Now, if all those units now instead were rented at $1,000 a month, which is actually the market rate, your potential rent would be $500,000 a month. The loss to lease calculation would take the $500,000 minus that $450,000, and you get left with the difference in the two figures, which is $50,000 per year as far as your loss to lease metric. So again, that's how you perform the calculation. I kind of provided you guys with an insight as to why that would be beneficial for you guys to know, both on the buyer side and on the ownership side. So hopefully you gained some value from this video. I'd like to hear your feedback in the comments. How else have you seen the loss to lease metric be utilized in the marketplace? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Again, if you like this channel, please like and subscribe. It does make a huge impact on our ability to reach a broader audience, and we would greatly appreciate the support. So thanks again so much for tuning in, and we'll see you all next time.